Here's the real problem, dude. You waited until you beat Xenoblade.
Let's save this. This is content. Let's save this for the
This
podcast.
is content. You're gonna get some fucking content tonight, Brad, dude.
Oh, we all will. Bahamut was an amazing
Let me
game.
let me have it.
God.
Cause this fucking Brad wants me to save my bitching for content, so.
Dude, you've been bitching since I got into voice call.
He's mad.
Dude, cause you started spinning bullshit to me.
I'm not spitting bullshit.
Dude, listen. You're giving me this fucking I'm now on a soft hiatus. Dude, all that means is that you're gonna try my game, and if you like it, you'll stay in, but if you don't, you'll say fuck it.
Well, no, I just don't like the commitment of having to beat it. If I get the
That's
motivation.
the fucking point, Brad.
Well, that's why it's soft commit, dude.
Dude, you can't. Dude, just full commit. I beat Blue
Well,
Dragon while at McDonald's.
Well,
I was
then
late.
I won't want to do it.
I beat Crosscode.
We're
You were
hella
late.
late on that.
We were both late on that.
Like 2 weeks.
It's fucking ridiculous, dude. And again, this fucking I don't have as much time as I used to. You beat all of a new Xenoblade game
Yeah,
for the
when
first
I
half
was-
of the month.
When I was still jobless, my plan
Yeah, you
was
should
to
have
just.
played Bahamut Lagoon while you
Look,
were jobless.
I had a plan. It was
Your
to
plan
just-
failed.
It was
Your
just to
fucking
grind.
plan went into ashes. Greetings and welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, because I underestimated how much free time I'd actually have at working full time in that shitty schedule.
I'm here with Colin and fuckhead Brad.
And I had to beat Xenoblade 3, dude. You know how long I've been waiting for that?
Video game book club. The rules are simple, Brad. One person
Sorry,
picks
sorry.
a game. You gotta beat that game in a month.
Are your guys'
And then-
recording things set up?
Yeah, mine's set up. Is yours set up?
Yeah, I've been recording for like the last 5 minutes.
Fantastic. If you beat the game in a month, you get to pick the next game for everyone to play once your month comes around. Unless you're Brad, then you get to choose whether or not you want to play the fucking game. Brad, what
Got an
game did you pick?
extension. All right. A classic that never made. Well, I guess not really a classic, but a game that never made it over to the shores of America. Bahamut Lagoon.
And how
A
long did it
tactics-
take you to beat it?
About 21, 22 hours.
In days?
I don't know, like 3 weeks, because that's when I started actually playing it.
All right,
middle of the month.
Brad's late, and that's why this podcast is late. We're starting with sound design.
No,
You can-
hold on. Because he just lied.
Well,
You're
if
ho-
we go over every one of Brad's lies, this is going to
Wait,
be a
what?
14-hour podcast.
When I started,
It-
you mean?
What do you mean by started? You booted it up?
Okay, sorry. What I did launch the game, played for like an hour the first time I set up SNES SNES 9GX, where the hell that?
Yeah, because I don't think you played it for another 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, I know, because I was no life in Xenoblade.
Oh,
trying to
okay.
beat it before.
Okay, so saying you started it only took you 3 weeks is... It took you like 4 days, because you only actually played it for 4 days.
All right, fair. But
Just had to get the lies out, dude.
dude, it wasn't. I did earnestly start playing it like a little, like middle of the month, a week after. But I was only doing like an hour, 2 hours a day, not even sometimes.
No, dude, that's not true.
You got no grind in you, dude.
Well, he beat Xenoblade 3. Let's see how long Xenoblade 3 is.
How long is Xenoblade 3? How many hours did you put into that fucking game?
50 or 60.
You're a fucking disgrace.
The average time to beat is 60 hours.
I can't fucking handle you, dude. You made me... My game is so cut short now. Because of incompetence. Sound design.
Sound design.
All right, but Frank, you understand it's Xenoblade.
I understand
You-
sound design, dude. The songs are
Wait.
good until they're not.
Hold on. I think we should just go over this. Brad thinks this
Alright.
game is a masterpiece. He puts it in his top 10.
Get
I
the
said top
fuck
20.
out of here.
Top 20.
Okay, sound design. We
You
can come
can't
back
even
to that.
find the time to
We
fucking
can come.
play it.
We can come back to that, dude.
No. How the fuck is it a masterpiece, but you can only play it for an hour?
When I finally sat down and did play it, I loved it.
I'm so fucking sound design. We gotta go on to sound design. I'm gonna have a goddamn aneurysm. I just got back from work.
I think the music is really good.
The music is good.
Yeah, the overall definitely really good. There were just some like with Don Juan. Some of the music got a little grating.
The
That was
sound
all-
of the menu
You go.
sound effects are trash, kinda. You just get tired of like the hit sound effects and the menu shit gets old very fast.
battling.
Yeah, just like moving the cursor and clicking, and you hear the same spell sounds over and over again, and they have no impact at all.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no abrasive songs, or abrasive sounds. Nothing was like really jumping out. Repetitiveness is a problem though.
the one song like whenever like when you ate the dung or fucking something important was happening. That music was so good.
Yeah.
Or like a Divine Dragon later.
There was like a lack of variety. There is only a few songs, which does kind of get bland, I guess. But it's just like good, like Final Fantasy-esque SNES music, you know?
Yeah, it's quintessential Golden Age Enix.
Not the best, but it's definitely good, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like Secret of Mana, but...
No Trigger or fucking Secret of Mana.
No voice acting because it's an old ass game. There's not even like the Animal Crossing like nothing like that.
Dragon's Head Wars.
Yeah, the dragon cries.
Yeah.
I loved them.
What do you
even though they
mean?
were
How
insane.
do you love that, dude?
Well,
This is a
I
Fallout
don't see
1
how you love
situation.
anything about this game, dude.
He can't. He doesn't even know,
60
dude.
fucking hours in Xenoblade 3, dude.
Oh my god, friend, you're still
I
stuck on
can't
that.
let it go.
Dude,
You're fucking me.
you want to know even better, dude? The game Xenoblade kept crashing because he was emulating it,
I hate this guy.
and he still he
Um,
persevered through, dude.
It got better towards the end with new updates and
Oh yeah, 50 hours
the-
in, it really cleared up.
well, the fact that I know when to like save and restart so I don't die or crash during a boss. But anyway, this isn't about fucking Xenoblade 3.
Save states, dude. I did not use a single save state throughout the entire game. Now, Colin, Arbiter of Justice, said it was fine to use save states in this game because there's temp saves, and that's in the game.
So
I chose not to.
here's the thing. I made save states. I just never used one.
Well, that's the same as not. I mean, if you got $1 and you never spend
True, you still have the $1. I don't know if Brad. I know Brad made a bunch. I don't know if he ever used one.
Only in case of the crash because my Bluetooth headset would mess with the sound source and the emulator just crashes it. So.
Yeah, that was a weird ass bug.
Yeah, that comes into gameplay, but first we
No-
have to go over story.
No, graphics. I think we should talk about the graphics.
We don't even have a graphics tab.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
All right. Oh, I guess graphics would be etc. All right, we'll do graphics. I'll make one. There we go. Graphics.
I mean,
The Bahamut attack is far and away the best looking thing in this game.
it lagged the emulator. Pushed the SNES to its
Yeah,
limits at
you
the
get
time.
dragon attacks and various spells, and a lot of them look decent. A lot of them are like small images multiplied throughout the entire screen, like fire and ice and all of that. But the Bahamut attack is just a giant fucking dragon coming across the screen and shooting a Kamehameha out of his mouth, and it looks really fucking cool.
Most of the sprites are good. There's definitely like the game feels like it was definitely like they were gonna make a Final Fantasy game, and there's like just a bunch of leftover shit from a Final Fantasy game that they threw together.
Yeah.
I was looking into it on the Wikipedia, and the game does share some sprites, or
Yeah,
at least, and like some of the dragons were they used the base of a Final Fantasy boss, and then you can tell where they fucking started coloring shit in and making new ones, but the base was there.
because some of the characters look cool, but then some look not cool. Same with the dragons. It's like all over the place.
Yeah, well, looking back on it, there is an astounding amount of sprites in this game because you have battle sprites and field sprites, and I think just on the dragons alone, there's like 50 or 60 sprites.
The
And then that doesn't even count all the enemies.
the craziest part, honestly, is like some of the animations. They're really fucking like in depth for the time.
Yeah, there's actual sword swinging. Again, we'll go over it later, but no option to like just skip the animation and make things go faster, which is something we'll
Even the
talk about.
cutscenes were like animated, like the characters like run on walls and shit and do wacky things.
They really love stacking a character into elevation. Like if there's a door, like one of the cutscenes, well, multiple times, they'll like hop on each other to look over the door. Like people will crawl up walls to try to get away. Like they got inventive with that. People jump out windows.
Yeah, I wish the battle sprites looked really nice, but some of the enemies I think needed more variety. You only see like something that's almost like a chakram wielder, someone with a scimitar near the end.
Dude,
It's
so-
usually just the same mooks.
It's all generic Jobber 4, dude. And they do like the same attack over and over again. Even the bosses, it's just like it's a big general sprite, you know.
Yeah, there's a couple cool gimmicks. We're talking about graphics right now.
Yeah.
Overall, though, yeah, the Divine Dragon sprites were just gorgeous. I think, even though they didn't really move, or they were just
Yeah.
static, you know.
The shitty sprites. There was something cool with the shitty sprites, and this works into actual gameplay, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If you make your dragon shitty, they're called Umi and Umi, and when you do a summon move with an Umi dragon, it turns what would look like a 6 summon into a transparent green ghost that looks like a blob of shit. And I thought that was cool to add. Anything else on graphics? Anyone?
The sky is pretty cool.
Sky is cool.
That's about it. Got sick of
Yeah,
looking
the
at
rain's
green
alright.
tiles.
Yeah, that was the variety of map design was
We'll
really
talk about
lacking.
map design.
But yeah, the sky split and open when you first go to Altaria or whatever it was really sick for a SNES
The
game.
ship sprite is really cool too.
Yeah. And when you battle Trafalgar,
Oh my god! All right, no, we gotta sidebar for a bit. What did you guys name your ship?
Default.
Western.
I
one.
didn't. I named nothing.
You named nothing. Okay.
Oh, so it was
my,
Fahrenheit. That's,
Yeah, Fahrenheit's the default name.
my ship was the crib. All right. Now, Brad? What'd you name your dragons?
Here we go,
dragons?
dude.
All right. Fire one, Livali. The Hydra, twin-headed one, Xylos. The useless fucking bat-looking one, Gligos. I don't know how to pronounce it. The healer dragon, Sarah. The baby dragon, I go with Psycho? I can't remember. And then ice one was Glacialis.
Good names.
Fuck.
Good names.
The thunder one, I started with a Z. Oh, Xerax or something like that.
Now here come
Alright,
the
Frank.
shitty names, dude.
Okay, my main dragon was Assfart. I had Charizard as the healer. The thunder guy was called the Plug because he shoots electricity. I had Squirts, that was my water dragon. I had Dumpling. What else was there?
Charizard.
Charizard. I had Charizard as the healer. And the baby dragon was called Sex Prize. Um,
That's accurate.
and I think that's it. So Squirts, Charizard, Dumpling, Sex Prize. Oh, and the two-headed dragon was named Cat Dog. But Asphalt was a homie. Asphalt always knew what to do.
The default names are pretty jabroni too. Salamander, Ice
Yeah.
Dragon, Twin Head. It's just like, okay.
They want you to name it, dude.
They straight up. That's just a straight translation.
Yeah.
Story.
Story. It's something.
I will go out and say it. I was not having a good time, and at the time, I just wanted the game to be over quicker, so I did not eat the dragon shit.
It's not real. I think eating the dragon shit is just like a funny cutscene. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't really tell you anything you don't already know.
Basically, Bahamut wants you to ride him in the sky, pull a dragon guard.
Yeah. You trip out on some dung, and Bahamut basically is like, yeah, ride me forever, please. And that's about it.
Repetitive is how I would describe the story.
Yeah.
There's good parts. There's good parts. I liked all the flavor stuff, like going to the brothel and what's his name? Boo? Is it Boo?
BU.
Bew?
Boo,
Yeah,
Boo being a simp.
Oh, he got cucked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
got
was
cucked by fucking random dude number 7.
He's kind of an anti-simp.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't really care. You can make him care, but I mean, you could also equally and as easily make him not care.
He gets cucked so hard, though, she brings him to the church.
Oh my
When
God.
she's like, you can't come in the church. And then she just lets him come in. I was like, dude.
Well, yeah, they said they were too young.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought the choices didn't mean shit. You got your fire dragon there bouncing all happy,
Yep.
and then she called Yo-Yo, the person we're talking about, who's the childhood friend of BU, is also a princess, is flying with Palpaleos, an enemy general that kidnapped her.
Yeah, she has
and killed her
Stockholm
father.
syndrome.
Yeah, and she called, dude.
She shits on your dragon. She's like, this
Yeah,
dragon's
dude.
so much faster than
Man,
Salamander.
this is so much faster than Livali. It's like, bitch, come on, not the dragon.
The game's carried so, like, the main plot is whatever. It's pretty fucking generic, like, save the world. It's just carried
Hooked
so
up at the end.
yeah. The characters fucking save it though. There's some really good characters in here.
The game has great characters, in my opinion. The old guy is fun.
Yeah, there's a gay old man that's always hitting
Back.
on you.
Um,
Who's also a
Malloy.
pussy when he's like, "Oh, I'm too scared. The dragons scare me," and he like pretends to be sick. I'm like, this guy sucks.
yeah.
really
Don
like-
Juan is my savior, dude. That guy is a fucking he is the sole comedic relief I had by the end of the game. Cause everyone was pissing me off. Very one-track minded character. Gonzo is hilarious because he's always scratching his balls.
Who's the guy whose wife died?
Oh, Taicho.
Oh,
or Taiko.
Malphite.
Or
No,
it's the other
Taiko.
guy. Yeah, it's Taiko.
That's the other guy.
Taicho or whatever. Yeah.
I really liked his little side story.
Well, it was kind of lame. It's like, oh, my wife. But then she's like, I had a kid inside me, and I sat here. I'm like, wow, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I wish that was fleshed out a little bit more because you'll like Lestat or whatever, the guy Maharal.
Yeah.
That you like he don't. I don't think he says a single thing except in his death sentence.
Those two characters are gay, right?
Taiko and Madeline.
Because they dance together in that one scene.
I think that was just humor.
Yeah, I couldn't tell because it kind of seemed like they were just like had like a secret relationship.
Sendak was definitely the gay one.
Well, I
wouldn't
mean,
say Madeline
I
or Taiko.
I don't even want to call him gay. He is a predator.
Oh yeah, he's like I gotta comfort because sometimes they show the character's thoughts.
There's a cutscene where he
And, he's
grabs
like-
your ass.
Yeah.
Couple of like big huge points in the story. At one point, Celine, the wife who died, comes back as a ghost in the dude's dream, and goes, "Oops, I'm pregnant."
Yeah.
So that was fucked. And the bald dragon tamer at one point in real life, this isn't a dream, in real life, goes, "Do you know how dragon babies are made?" And you're like, "Nah, I don't know." He then proceeds to molest the dragon. It bites him, and then he goes, "Yeah, don't touch them like that. They will stop listening to you." So those were two things in the story that were so fucking out there that I had to write down.
Dude, you know what's weird? When you eat the dragon dung, you become the dragon tamer guy.
That I'm glad I didn't.
So I don't know if that's like you were always him or some weird shit. The game's kind of confusing.
I just remember the only weird thing with the Dragon Tamer, like story-wise, was at one point he's flashing and he's a Dragonian. Or like his sprite's just rapidly changing back and forth.
Yeah. I don't know. It made like no sense. There's something weird with that guy.
This goes into story and graphics, but the final battle was sick. Final battle was really sick.
You think so?
Not necessarily from story wise, but like as like visually and a combat. I mean the combat wasn't. We'll get to that.
Visually, it's pretty cool. I like how they.
Yeah.
Visually,
really
it's
good.
cool, and I'm very glad that it wasn't just like another regular battle. I'm glad that it was just like one enemy, 5 parts.
In
big
like
shit.
an actual different setting.
Yeah. I wish they did more of it like that.
I'm trying to think. Oh, and at the end where they what's that guy's name? They Caesar Papaleos or whatever.
Apaleos, yeah.
That was so weird. It's just like he's the love interest with Yo-Yo, but then he just dies, and she doesn't give a fuck.
That's because she didn't know yet. I think she was never informed.
I mean,
yet,
he
so.
dipped, and she didn't really seem to care.
I think it was more somebody had to go clean up the situation in Granville because they just lost a war technically, even though you don't see too much of that. So I don't know.
You don't see any of that.
Yeah, it was. They didn't get the scale down.
This
I
is
do like
another
how-
game that fits into the illusion of choice category. I did both choices for a lot of things, and sometimes it would give you an item or something special if you chose the right choice, but most of the time it would go into a different dialogue that immediately runs back to the original dialogue that you would have gotten if you picked another choice. I'm not gonna say it's lazily done, but it's done in a way that's not satisfying.
There
but I
are a
can't
couple
take
choices
off
that
it.
give you different characters. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's cool at least. Like you can miss out on shit, which is nice.
Yeah, I always thought there'd be a branching like where Yo-Yo actually bees with BU because I didn't really search around, but when you do the revolution thing, overthrow this basically the
with like the
version.
brothel when you go to the sex thing.
Yeah. I always felt like there was an option that you could find to go back to the ship when Yo-Yo's dealing with the divine dragon sickness or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd have to watch a video on it though.
Yeah, I think there's only one ending though. Pretty sure.
Oh yeah,
I don't see how there'd be multiple.
just how slightly different things happen. That's all I would be expecting.
Yeah.
Ooh, what do you guys think of Sother for the antagonist?
He was all
Don't
right.
care about 'em.
I thought it was cool when they teamed up and then they threw his fucking casket off the island. I kind of thought that was funny.
I liked them more in the beginning because they were fleshing out the villains, but then it didn't really lead to much except BU getting cucked.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like, I don't know. They had like some sort of. It's not even like that interesting, but it was like the warring nations, politics, fallen empire. Like that's interesting, but it all just devolves into there's one bad dragon. We got to kill that one.
Yeah, the Alexander, they just dropped all the Dragonian and Altair shit on you all at once and didn't really flow well.
Well, that's the thing. It's literally 20 chapters of basically pointless shit, and then the last like 5 chapters are basically the whole story.
Yeah, like there were some cool ideas there of Bahamut or the divine dragons being at war with each other and basically constantly destroying lagoons in the world and whatnot, and Bahamut stopping it. You
Yeah.
could have went with something with that where I don't know the like Hyperion, the other divine dragons, and you have to fight them all with Bahamut or something. But yeah.
There was good pacing. It's just like you had to know like where the pace shit was, which we'll talk about more in gameplay. It's like because you get more party members, you get your ship, you get your dragons all leveled up, and then there's a lull point around chapter like 15, and shit just keeps going. The story progresses a little. Like it was paced decently.
I mean,
It
the
was
game's entirely too long.
well. Let's just go on to gameplay, dude. Because
Well, I don't even think it is partly gameplay, but you literally could chop 50% of like the story out of this game, and it's the same story.
yeah,
There's just like
100%.
there's literally like hour-long chapters that are meaningless and don't develop characters and don't progress the story. It's padded beyond belief.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
a big criticism I had was like in Fire Emblem, if the Lord fights against the boss or a certain character, there'll be some dialogue that they talk to each other.
Yeah.
There was fucking nothing in this game, which would have been so easy to add just for characterization.
It would have just made it
Like,
at least more entertaining with like some of the more boring missions, you know? At least it progresses something.
like why not have Taicho say something to Lestat because he killed his wife? Something.
Yeah. Gameplay.
yeah. Was there resolution to the wife dying?
No, he just became I think they made him the king of that place, right?
Yeah, at
Okay,
the
so
end.
no closure to a plot point that was introduced. That's awesome.
I mean, well, he reached closer when he was on the Rainbow Bridge or whatever they wanted to see together. I thought that whole scene was him coming to terms.
That was
with what
basically the
happened.
closure. It just
Oh,
was
you-
kind of
It happened too fast.
Brad said
It's like-
bridge. It's time for gameplay, dude. You guys can go because I'm gonna go for a while.
I mean, the dragon feeding's cool, but also fucking not cool. Like, it's a cool concept to like feed your dragons and transform them. It's so fucking slow. You gotta click on each dragon, go through the menu to find something, and then feed it. And it's like RNG. There's no fucking idea. Like, even if you look at a guide, guides are useless for this game. They're all based on a different translation.
You really had to experiment and either write shit down or memorize what the item did.
Well, and with the dragon feeding too, it doesn't matter because in the end, you just get to the same like good dragon eventually.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed. There's no specialization between the 6 of them. Aside, like they each had their own master ability, right? But they
Yeah.
all unlock dark and light magic and whatnot for.
Yeah, they just become like, well, and they break the game too. That's the other thing with this game. This game is too fucking easy. It's just like tedious, but like you couldn't even make this game hard if you wanted to. Say if you like didn't feed your dragons, the game would be impossible. But if you feed your dragons, they just become gods that can't be hit and have 1,000,000 life.
Yeah,
Like-
I was disappointed the lack of actual tactics in the game.
Yeah.
There's only a couple times where you had to be careful. And the enemy AI was, well, the AI for the time, I guess. Not great.
The AI is fucking horrible, dude. You move forward once, and then you could just not move the rest of the match, and they'll just walk up to you and get obliterated.
Yeah, and dragons had way too high aggro. They never tried to prioritize if you had a mage squad or something where they could like actually kill.
Yeah, apparently you can control the dragons like with their stats, but I feel like that's bullshit. They just end up doing whatever they want, using random ass spells, healing when they don't have to.
Yeah, the spell part just seemed completely random, but you can make it so they whatever stat was for aggressiveness, like that was AG. I always thought it was agility, but you can make them less aggressive so they attack from a range. Like my ice dragon was always just doing AoE magic instead of going into battle.
Yeah, which is kind of nice, but it's also pointless. Because like even if they went into battle, doesn't matter. Their dexterity is so high they don't ever get hit.
Yeah, especially once you reach a little bit past half point.
Dude, and then the salamander dragon, the red one, it becomes invincible when you get it to the master form, which is fucking ridiculous.
It's dumb.
You don't need an invincible dragon at any point in this game. It's a cool mechanic, but
If the game had to find like another chance, they would have refined shit, so it would have been an actually awesome game instead of all these faults.
I don't know.
Think.
I feel like they try to do too much. This game is literally a million ideas and it does none of them like great.
Yeah, it's a hodgepodge.
Because it's a tactics game, like an SRPG, but at the same time, you go into like JRPG battles, and those are kind of scuffed too in a way.
It could have been sick, but it's just there's no way to. They made it too slow. Honestly, I think
Yeah.
that was the main problem with that.
There's a bunch of cool ideas, but yeah, it is insanely slow.
And yeah, the map variety, or whenever they tried to mix it up instead of just a couple healers, AOE mage, cannons here and there, like the 4 bosses that could summon or like give magic to those statues that would then turn into an enemy.
Yeah.
Like they always failed their attempt to do something.
Well, dude, every map's a
Unique.
lie. Every map would be like, oh, because this game's cool where it's like you can interact with the environment. You can freeze water, you can break shit, you can light it on fire. There's a bunch of stuff. And there's a bunch of maps that are like geared towards like interacting with the map. But it's a fucking waste of time. Literally, the strat for every single map is get to the boss as fast as possible and kill it. There's no point of interacting with the map or like using any sort of tactics.
Really, I only found freezing or breaking walls a couple times, like with the thunder towers and crossing water. But that was it.
Literally, the only time you have to think is when there's like cannons. Because cannons can fuck you up. Only because they can shoot from anywhere on that one map.
Yeah, that was a
And I watched Frank cheese that map where you can just stand there and let the boss come to you. And then you don't even have to interact with the map.
yeesh.
I'm coming in. Listen,
Your turn.
this game is slow and tedious and slow, all right? There's no speed up feature, and you can't control your dragons, which I don't mind, except for the AI is not intelligent enough to make the correct decision or the optimal decision, even if you give them intelligence 100. And it says that you shouldn't give every dragon intelligence 100, but that shouldn't be part of the thing. The dragon taming is a tremendous idea that's executed 98% right, and then that extra 2% that they fuck up ruins the whole thing. As Brad said, there's no specialty, and as Colin said, the same idea is for every single like battle in the game is to just get the boss. The hardest one in the game, the hardest level in the game, has a bunch of cannons, and the only way I was able to beat it is, as Colin said previously, aggroing the boss to come to me. Now, if you aggro the boss once, it will always come to you because the AI is dog shit. It's 1997 or 1998 AI. So the hardest level in the game wasn't me like steadily but surely traversing through the map and trying to do it the way they intended, because that would have taken twice as long. No, I went all the way back and had the boss slowly walk to me for about 7 or 8 turns, and then I killed him. And that's optimal. That is like literally the best way you could possibly do it. It puts none of your people in danger and it kills the boss. That's an optimal strategy. I spent like 25 to 30 hours on this game. It is a 10-hour game max if you had a speed up function, and maybe even 5 hours if you do everything the first time, and if you could control your dragons. If you could control your dragons, this game would be fucking piss easy. Secondly, Colin was stating earlier about how all of the dragon shit is RNG from feeding them. He's right, but they have a New Game Plus mode. And if you get New Game Plus, then you're allowed to see what effect is done to each item that you feed your dragon. So
I
you have to
forgot
beat
about
the
that.
game first to fucking know what you're feeding your dragon, which is just absolute dog shit. I despised going through this game at one point. It's not a bad game as a whole. It's just that the gameplay is fundamentally flawed. And whoever made these map designs, fuck you. Fuck you. Cuz the game does a tutorial for one specific level, just one. And it says you can break this dam to do this effect. Now the effect is it splashes water on people and it does like 1,000 damage. But everybody has like 2,500 health and there's 5 or 6 healers or 4 or 5 healers. I forget exactly how many healers, but there's healers there. So they'll mitigate it anyway. So if you spend the extra 10, 15 turns going all the way to the top, breaking the dam, by the time you get there, everyone's going to be full health anyway. And that's one of the only times that I died. This game is, in fact, fucking easy. It's piss easy. It just takes forever. You'll realize that you've beaten a level about 45 minutes before the level's over. And there's other like problems with the game that just genuinely shouldn't even be there. And I feel like they were there due to incompetence or like a coding error, because if you have an enemy that's over 10,000 health, which ends up being a lot of enemies 3/4 through the game, it just goes into question marks. So you can't even know like where you're at in the level, because the whole level is just fighting the enemy that is like titled boss. So you're just sitting there, and some have like 30,000 health, which is an obscene amount of health for the time in the game that you start getting question mark enemies. And you're just sitting there like, is this game going to be over? Because you're not worried about dying. You're worried about lost time. Or, God forbid, something happens to where, like, your computer doesn't work or something and you lose all that progress. Also, if you don't temp save during a level, you will have to go all the way back to the cutscene before the battle. And these cutscenes are usually they're not technically cutscenes. They're just scenes before the battle. You move around and like interact with the shit. But like, you have to rebuy everything. You have to redo all the dialogue. You have to redo all of that shit, and then go into battle again. And that just adds to the tedium. It's a very, very, very tedious game. Um, I was very upset by the end, because again, it's like it's an old game. eh, Not a lot of games back then, because I looked it up. Not a lot of games back then in this turn-based tactical grid-based RPG system had a speed-up feature. Um, but it really needs one. It really, really needs one. It took a lot of strength on my part not to cheat and just speed it up myself. Um, and I never did, and I beat it on time.
Well, you're a couple hours late, but
The- we- That's because of a rule change.
from
But
6
I
months
beat it
ago. But
day
yeah.
of. I beat it day of. I beat it day
Yeah,
of.
you beat it the first in the wee hours.
Gameplay as a whole, I can't say anything else aside from tedious. Because the first when you first get into it, it's like, oh, this is cool. I'll learn how to do this faster. There's no doing it faster.
Yeah, if it ran at like 3x speed, I don't even know if I'd have a complaint.
No.
Because it's not
No.
bad. It's just fucking slow.
This could be tied to the dragon taming and everything, but and also, as Brad said earlier, there's no specialization. So by the time your dragons are max level, they have a myriad of spells that you can't really see. Or at least I didn't like go into a menu to see what they had, but they'll be so intelligent that they'll realize, okay, if I use this move, I'll have more mana for the next move. So what'll happen is that by the end of the game, none of the dragons are using their most powerful spells consistently enough. So it just gets dragged on for longer. Like Salamander could also learn low-level healing spells, and instead of attacking somebody that's about to die that has a healer next to them with their Hellfire missile, they'll instead decide to heal some of the party, and that becomes really annoying. Even if their intelligence is at 100, they will not place their spells optimally. There will be like 3 people lined up to where you can hit all of them with a Hellfire attack or a Frostfire attack or whatever you want to use, you know. But the dragon will still only hit one of them, even though the spell has enough room to be in the optimal spot. So they're not that intelligent.
Are you talking about when they like engage in battle and it switches to the battlefield scenes, or are
Yeah,
they just
say
straight up?
When they use a spell on the battlefield, like a field
yeah,
spell.
say you have your tank up there and there's three enemies on either side of him. It's in front
Yeah, yeah.
and to both sides.
He
Instead
doesn't hit
of
the middle.
placing the fire on your guy because it doesn't hurt them and hitting all three of the enemies, he'll hit like the one on the side or maybe the one in front and to the side, but he'll never hit three. Um, it will be a suboptimal move, and that's why I just really wish you could control your dragons, and I wish it was an option to control your dragons, but you can't even control your dragons in New Game Plus. The
Why don't
most
you,
they give you,
dude? If
what?
you could control them, this game would be way too easy. It's
Yeah, but the
already
game's too
easy,
easy anyway.
but it would be like to the point where it's like pointless.
Yeah, but it's the same. It's the same easy but faster. You know, like it's more easy, but the game's not hard. I only died twice, and I only died naturally one time because the other time.
Uh-oh.
The
Hello.
internet.
I think we lost Frank, dude. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't believe he died. He died in the game and he died in real life. Just now in front of us.
Rip Frank. I'm trying to think. Oh no, I had some close calls where I went ham with BU or overextended, but I only exited.
I died on that the map with the huge cannons because they fucking hit Bu. And yeah, I didn't realize if he dies, you just lose, which is kind of lame.
Yeah, that's where I got lucky, and it is, and at least in a squad-based game like this.
It's just lame because you don't. It's not like Fire Emblem where you lose the unit. So it's like really they're gonna have this aspect of Fire Emblem, but not the other.
Yeah,
Kind of
especially
annoyed by
because that party had the most damage dealers, or at least I never split up the knights.
Yeah, I moved my parties around a lot.
Mm.
I made sure each one had like one light armor, so they actually had movement.
Oh yeah, I
And then-
did that for summoners and whatnot.
Yeah, I had two summoners with a light armor, so they could just run around the map and nuke people.
Although once the puppy dragon or whatever, the baby one, once it reaches master, you can go more than you get like at least 30, 40 tiles of movement for the party on it.
That's insane.
Yeah, same with at the end I just made all the masters basically, and yeah, it made summons so broken you could just use it wherever you wanted. It'd still
Yeah.
be safe.
The master forms are ridiculous. Like that should only be New Game Plus if they're gonna do that. They just make it an already easy game easier.
Yeah, I really wish there was I had some Fire Emblem difficulty in there. Not even just not permadeath, unit permadeath either. Just you actually had to think a little.
Yeah, I mean the AI is just so bad. They don't even like play around each other. You can kind of just like look at the units and like, oh, I already know what these units like. Oh, the healing unit is just gonna run around and heal no matter what. Like it doesn't think. And if you damage the healing enemies enough, they just start healing themselves.
It's so bad.
Like you could have the boss at 1 HP and the healing mage will literally heal itself over the boss.
I was really disappointed in that. I thought the
Well-
game would be harder. Welcome back.
Yeah, I got on my phone. My internet's out, but
The phone quality, dude.
yeah. Can you hear yourselves?
No.
No.
Oh. So, at some point, you get these units that allow you to go faster, but
Light
you only
armor.
get light armor, but you only get 3 of those units, and you have like 5 or 6 units, so units are always going to be slower. And what ends up happening is you rush those units that have the speed buff to the boss, and then the rest of the time is the other units trying to catch up. So you're like 2 units down anyway the whole time. If you wanna actually like beat the level fast because by the time they get there, the boss will be dead usually.
What
And
what
that really
what
aggravated me.
Brad said, I guess if you level up that puppy dragon to master,
Yeah,
it gives the party with that dragon like 30 tile movement.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Same with the Thunder one.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That makes sense. So I guess you could give every party movement if you moved them around. But, no way of knowing that other than random luck because there's no info on this game, honestly.
I mean, in the beginning, they do say doing that little stupid formation skit. They explain that having different members in will alter shit a lot, but it's nothing in depth. Obviously,
There's just no way
so.
to tell, other than trial and error.
Yeah, which is not ideal. It's definitely an old game thing.
Actually, there might be a way to tell. I think there is. I know with the light armor, you can tell. They have like a skill that's like a passive that it shows, but I don't know if. I don't think you can tell with the dragons, like if those provide movement, if they will or won't.
Fucking yeah, that one annoying thing. When you're before you can only really check advanced stats during battle or when you're about to sortie or go into battle. Like where all the information is. Because if you clicked on each individual dragon, I think it did give a list of spells.
And they
could had to dig.
And they could have fixed the dragons so easily. You don't even need to control them. If I could just like click the dragon and be like uncheck spells I don't want it to use, or give it a command like only use the strongest spells or focus the weakest, just like a little more control. It would have felt so much better. Other than come, go, and wait. Literally your only options.
I'm telling you, dude, if I had a second game.
Oh, no. This game is a one and doneer. That's where it needs to belong. The one and done, dude. You agree, Frank? This guy, dude. What's he doing?
I was downstairs. I couldn't talk. Opinions on game.
Okay, I got a lot of opinions, dude.
Should we just get to rating them? Or did we cover enough?
They'll come after. This might be the most overrated game of all time. Because all I've ever heard about this game is how fucking awesome it is. And it wasn't that awesome. It was it's a good game. I don't want it to seem like I think it's shit, because it's not shit. It's just so overhyped. It is not anything special, honestly. Like, I don't know what this game does that, like... Dude, you could play, like, any other SNES RPG and you'll probably have a better time. FF6, Chrono Trigger, Secret... Like, those are just better games. Like, this is the bottom of the barrel to me of, like, SNES RPG. Like, dude, I could recommend, like, 25 other SNES RPGs you should play before you touch this. This is, like...
Well, yeah, because that was a golden age of JRPGs.
Sure, but this is like, oh, you've played every SNES RPG? Well, I guess play this if you want another one, because it's a SNES RPG.
I can't deny it. It's more like a fucking... It's not a diamond in the rough. It's more like a fucking rough amethyst or something like that.
Well, do you think it lives up to the hype? This game's pretty hyped.
I wouldn't say it lives up to the hype by people that are the JRPG enthusiasts that recommend the game.
Because you've seen the same thing where people say how awesome and like, great this game is.
Yeah.
And I just don't... I don't see it. It's not bad, but I definitely don't see the hype.
If you I'm not saying completely disregard the gameplay, but if you ignore a lot of the negative elements, I could see people being super hyped about it because... Like, the first half of the story goes hard, I think.
It's just...
You gotta...
The problem is you can't ignore the elements
I know.
Because it's like... One of the biggest issues is the combat, and that's 75 to 80% of the game is actually the combat and not the story, you know?
Yeah, it's really intrusive in your face.
because it's probably 20 hours of actual, like, you're in combat, and then maybe 5 hours of story stuff, and then feeding dragons probably takes like 2 hours throughout the game because it's so convoluted.
That carried it hard for me. I liked experimenting before,
Dude,
at least in
there was
the
nothing.
early game.
It was pointless.
Or in the early game, I mean, when
It's
it was
even pointless then. You just feed them shit and they transform. It doesn't really matter what you feed them.
Well, yeah, but you could go for like actual builds. Like you'd have a tank that just does that high physical, high defense, agility guy that does magic. Like there was some. It felt like you could.
I feel like
Mix it
that's
up and
all
actually
an
matter.
illusion because your real goal with the dragon is just make it as strong as possible, as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And then it becomes unkillable. And then you just max out all its stats. Like, I guess, like, yeah, max out the thunder first or whatever, and then, like, the fight. But it doesn't matter, you know, in the end. That's kind of why I didn't like it, because it's all an illusion at the end of the day. Like, it really... It makes you think it matters, but it doesn't.
A lot of it was like, what's the fucking point?
Well, because
Like, what was the fucking point of Don Juan?
comedic relief, I guess. But yeah, he's pointless ass character.
There's a lot of Fire Emblem characters like that.
Yeah, but with
just
Fire
build a
Emblem,
large
it makes you
cast.
more attached. It's like, oh, this idiot died, and now he's gone forever, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Really.
Oh yeah,
the only thing
characters
they had
don't
going.
die. They're just gone for the battle.
Yeah. Which is fine. I don't mind it, but it has downsides in ways.
Yeah.
I was going to say something, but I forgot. Oh, the dragon feeding remind me of the Castlevania thing where you can, like, morph your familiars in that one PS2 game. Except that actually mattered, and this doesn't. And that's why I was pissed.
Yeah, for all the time that you spend with the dragons, and like, I wish they added, I don't know, some way to give them personality, or something like.
Well, dude, all
just
they would have
flavor text.
because you could just give them three or four forms that they can just like end up as, but it's like, and then it would be cool, you know, because it's like, oh, okay, it's actually unique, you know, I built him this way,
Yeah.
and then dude,
There's more.
their Master Dragon sprites are just their starter sprites.
That was disappointing.
That is so fucking lame. That'd be like evolving a like you get a Squirtle and you spend 30 hours feeding the Squirtle shit, and it turned into this badass giant Blastoise, and then you feed it the one last thing to make it level 100, and it turns back into a Squirtle. It'd be fucking stupid. Same with Digimon, dude. You level this crazy Digimon up, and then it turns into this egg.
Yeah. It's like, why bother?
Yeah, it was. I don't know why they did that.
And shit, the only fucking characterization you ever get from them is that they imply that they're Dragonians. They got teleported in by Bahamut, and at the end, they say that we love you, BU. That's it. Like.
Well, I don't know how they can't talk. How they gonna give them? I guess they could have made them. They all kind of just hop up and down and are pretty obedient.
Yeah, I mean, if or BU's like special, he can talk to dragons in a sense, or I don't know, give him some sort of personality. Oh, that's all I got.
Could have been fleshed out.
Ratings.
It's I don't know. Either a 2.5 or a 3. Cause it's not horrible, but do not play it. It is not worth playing. I don't think it's a bad game, but I cannot recommend anyone sit through this game. You're not missing anything. I need to hear from Brad how this is a top 20 game of all time. That's an absurd take.
Well, talking talking through with the both of you, and yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna keep my bias out of it.
You
We
don't
can't
think it's
ignore
that
the.
good?
Well, I you guys are gonna hate me. I'm gonna give it a 3.5, just because I really like the music. I love the sprite work and the characters. For some reason, I enjoyed a lot. Even though some were simple, but like Bikabake, funny ass character. He
Oh
tried to
yeah,
open a
I
mushroom
forgot
selling
about him.
business to buy a house,
It works
and
out in
then
the end, dude.
yeah, the homie Bu.
I feel like if you ranked 20 games though, you could think of 20 games better than this easily.
Yeah, probably. I've never actually made a list like that for myself.
What's
But
the
yeah, three and
Frank
a half
score?
for
I
me.
give it a light 3. Light 3.
That's not bad. That's higher than I thought. I thought you were gonna go with 2 or 1.5.
Yeah.
I can't. Well, it's better than Bug Fables.
True. True.
But not by much. You know, it's like, for one, doing this podcast ruined my internet, so that should knock it down a point anyway. I'm verging on 2.5. Like, 2.75. We're putting it at a 2.75, dude.
But it's weird because it's like it's fine. It's a whatever game, but it's like there's no way you can recommend this shit either, right? It's like not worth playing.
No.
It's fucked up. It's
No,
weird in my head.
There's like 400 billion gazillion turn-based tactical hexagon square whatever the fuck like RPGs. If you're gonna choose this one, like, you're missing out on hundreds, if not thousands, of games that will be more enjoyable, if nothing else, for a speed up feature.
I know you're being hyperbolic, but that's overselling the genre a bit.
What do you mean? There's a lot of games like this, dude.
That are actually good.
I mean, Final
Like,
Fantasy Tactics.
Better than this?
Well, yeah. There's Battle Tactics Ogre, Final Fantasy Tactics, Fire Emblem, obviously.
Disgaea.
Advance Wars. Oh yeah, Disgaea. I forgot.
Yeah, and then like each of those, just those series alone, have about 50 to 100 games. So play all those before you play this one.
And that's not even counting like little fucking phone turn-based tactics games, which is then another 100,000. You know, it's just like there's a whole bunch of these games, and while the dragon system gimmick is cool, I'll give them that. This game's great for about 6 hours, and then it's like, oh, this battle is also an hour and a half long. Okay, like, all of the battles are entirely too long. The ideas aren't 100% fleshed out. It's a game where if it had a sequel, I'd give it a try, but I probably wouldn't beat.
Watch the Let's Play.
If they did the whole Secret of Mana thing, where they reboot it, you know, like, I might do that.
Oh yeah, they could. This game is
But
rebootable. I will say that.
Well, yeah, it never had a chance to be iterated upon or built upon. Like the foundation's there, pretty shitty ones for gameplay sometimes, but it's there.
yeah, it needs modern AI. This is a game that hinges on AI, and the AI is just not there.
I think there's a fundamental
Because
problem
if you
with how the
think
battles
about
are,
it,
or systems.
yeah,
Sorry.
map design's terrible. We're not even gonna. We're past that. Like, if you get into like the nitty gritty of this game, a lot of it is enemy AI and dragon AI. Those are the two things that hinge on like how fast and how effective the game is going to be in each specific battle. And I've had dragons fuck me, like healer is at 20 HP. Just attack the fucking healer. Okay, he healed me. So now everybody's back at full health for the enemy, and I got to spend another 3 turns. Like that happens all too often in this game, and it's all because the AI isn't well enough prepared for what like they were trying to do with this game. Um, so yeah, just based on execution, even for the time, 2.75.
Not bad though. I expected lower. What's
Ready
your
for my game?
Yeah, what's your game after you had to wait half a week?
Exactly. It's now the 10th. You fuck with the Bible?
Oh my god, dude. What is I think I already know what it is. What is it?
Dante's
Yup, I
Inferno.
knew it. I fucking knew that's what it
Ah,
was.
Let's go.
Th-
We're playing Dante's Inferno, boys.
this is gonna suck.
what is it? A bad spectacle?
No, no.
Really? Really?
No, it's gonna suck because he was like, I'm gonna need your help to get it working, and now I already know fucking why, dude.
Wait, what? Isn't it just like a wait? Is it an Xbox game exclusive?
No, it's a fucking. He wants me to get PS3 emulator bullshit, dude.
Dude, oh, that's easy. You
It's
just gotta find
sometimes.
the I see if I can't find the sites I used last time.
No,
to
no,
play
no, no,
Jack,
no.
but-
We legitimately get games. I buy them and then rip them. Yeah.
we can just mute that out and edit
We're
it.
ending the
No,
podcast.
I don't care. No, 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 no. We got to talk about how Brad is on a soft hiatus, dude.
Oh,
We heard the brunt
you
of it
tell
in
him, Brad.
the
Go
first
ahead.
5 minutes.
We're looking for
No,
a
no,
6
I want to
foot.
reiterate.
We're looking for a 6 foot tall male who wants to join book club. Book club.
Well, anyway, I'm on jobber life now and
Wage cuck.
underestimated
Fuck
the amount
you.
of time I'd have. So here we are.
Book Club has seen 3 different jobs that I've worked.
I mean, hey man, I'm not being on a regiment.
Here's the thing. Here's what happens, dude. You beat a 60-hour game in the first half of this month.
While we were in
All right.
Vegas.
Then you.
Yeah, it was Xenoblade 3,
Then
dude.
then yeah, and while we were in Vegas doing real shit in Evo, Colin won a medal. All right. I did my second job that I have apparently. All right, and then I come back, I beat Bahamut Lagoon, and this fucker's like, I need extra time. Also, I'm going on hiatus. Now, this is just the surprise of nobody. I fucking hated all of Brad's games. None of them have been over a 3. All right?
No.
And then
no,
when
no,
it's
no.
my turn,
You liked Fallout.
I did like Fallout. So it becomes my turn, and I'm like, all right, man, you know what? I'm gonna show Brad a good time. I'm not gonna be petty. What's he do? Oh, I'm on hiatus. I know I'm late on my game that I chose, that I wanted to play, and I'm late on it, and it eats into your game, but I'm leaving. And now he's like, oh, well, if I like the game, I'll stay. Fuck you.
I never said if I liked the game, I'd stay. I more
That's,
along
dude,
the
I
lines of if
can read
if I
between the
beat it, I
lines.
beat it. Jesus. Yeah, there is no reading in between the lines.
It's a soft hiatus, Frank,
No.
not a hard hiatus.
No, it'll be like, oh, if I pick the Blitz the League, oh, you'll be like, phew, yeah, no, I'm
Look,
not beating
Frank.
that. I'm out of here.
Frank, if I put don't even know how long the game is, but if I put in 10 hours and don't beat it, my turn still gets skipped. So what's the problem? Like if I play it and then
The
don't
problem
beat it,
is that the problem is that like I'm gonna get mushy, dude. I need you.
He needs you, dude.
Listen, we have
He
a
said-
very
Yeah.
we have a very special relationship here, Brad. You pick a game I hate, I pick a game I think everyone will like, and it sucks, okay? And then you tell me it sucks, and then you pick a game, and you're like, this game's great, and I go, no, this game sucks, and Colin goes, actually, it was all right. It's a good system. It creates conflict. It's good for content. It's good for the people watching. Hi, everyone. But without you, it's just me and Colin going, yeah, that game's good. No, that game was good. Oh, that was a good game. Where's
mean,
the
you and
conflict?
Colin have.
Where's the story arc?
I mean, even without me, there will still be plentiful discussion of how much Colin might hate your game.
Dude, you need
Like,
to stay in book club. Brad, I'm gonna get down to brass tacks, dude. I didn't want you back, but I'm glad you're back. And now you're telling me you're leaving.
dude,
It's a soft hiatus.
like at worst, like I said, at worst. I mean, I can still do the podcast even if I put some time into it and don't beat it. I can fucking read.
No,
I
you
mean,
fucking can't. Dude, suck my soft hiatus.
we've
Play
reached an
Dante's
impasse
Inferno,
here.
come to the podcast, play
Brad.
Colin's game, and pick your game.
Brad, you can't play some of the game and then be like, I'm still in.
Well, no, I wouldn't get to pick my game. Obviously, like I'd be skipped. I'm not saying I get a choice of what game we all play.
So when we talk about, you'd be like, yeah, I played 10 minutes of it. Okay, well, what'd you think of sound design?
Well,
I mean,
the main menu had a bop, dude.
well, you guys know how I am with music. I can put on the album, have it and fucking listen to it. I can read, watch gameplay. Like there's a
Just
shit ton
play.
of stuff you can do without
Brad.
playing.
Brad, play the fucking game, Brad.
It is a
All right, thank you for tuning in, everybody.
it is a
I
short
hope-
game. It is a short game. It's 8 hours apparently. But we'll figure this shit out. Either
I don't
way,
like commitment.
oh my fucking god. Either way, book
We
club's
should have
trying
never
hard,
let this
dude.
fucking guy back in.